Has there been any time where you felt like your paycheck is no longer enough for your living expenses? Millions of people across the globe and in America are in financial crisis.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
I'm about to be freaking homeless and I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
I live in my car because the cost of living in America is just too high.
Costco is charging over $80 to $90 for steaks. I'm not kidding.
So I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these Madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me.
Hello fam, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. In today's video, we will be having a deep dive into the financial crisis that is affecting millions of Americans. We will touch on how inflation is drowning people into debts, from the astronomical prices of food items to stagnant wages. Let's magnify the lens on the harsh realities many people are facing today.
There's one video of mine that needs to do well, it's this one. This is the first month I won't be able to afford rent. I'm not a rich person. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have basic household necessities, a couch, a bed, washer, a dryer. That's about it. A car. I don't have a lot of lavish things. I don't go on vacations and I don't spend a lot. Rent's increased from $1,300 to $1,800. The food prices are too high. I've cut back on eating because I literally cannot afford food. I've cut back on my favorite snacks, cat food, treats. I'm exhausted all the time from being overworked and underpaid. You don't catch a break when you grow up poor. I don't need much to be happy. I just want to be able to live comfortable. I just really need to catch a break right now. I'm trying so hard and I feel like I'm not doing enough. I don't have family. I don't have anything to fall back on. I just need one video to blow up and it could be life-changing for me.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's literally just fine. In order to live in the United States, I literally just have to starve myself in order to fucking survive because I barely hit $65,000 fucking dollars this fucking year. And I'm paying $3,000 in fucking taxes. I'm paying in because I made $65,000 and that's with taxes. So after taxes, I probably made $55,000. And I have to pay $3,000 of that in. Mind you, rent is fucking $15,000. That literally makes it fucking $19,000 a year. So out of that fucking, all that money, let's say I've got $30,000 to fucking work with, right? Okay, what about a car payment? Well, mine's $600 a fucking month. Times 12, $7,000. Okay. Should I just kill myself? Insurance? $3,000 every 6 months. I literally can't even live in fucking the United States anymore. Like, I have never thought about death, but how do you fucking survive here? How do you do it?
As of late 2023, the inflation rate have hovered around 5 to 7%, significantly impacting everyday living, which trickles down to drowning people into debts. This significant rise in inflation affects our daily living in so many ways. It affects the cost of living, food prices in the supermarket, delinquency rates, credit card debts, the list goes on. Let's have a look at the recent cost of living, food prices at the supermarket, cost of renting houses. People are constantly coming on TikTok to air their grievances. People are talking because it's not unbearable.
I live in my car because the cost of living in America is just too high. So I get questions like this, like, what am I going to do if my car busts? Which I feel like is a weird way of phrasing that. But if my car does break down, I'll just get it fixed. And if it's a repair that costs more than $1,000, then I am just going to get rid of the car and then move to Europe and start a new life there. It's pretty simple. I have nothing tying me down to America.
Prices of basic necessities such as gas, food, rent has skyrocketed. People are now struggling to buy food from the supermarket. There is a huge decline in the quality of life because families are now being forced to make tough decisions. People have to survive. they need to cut costs to make sure they don't die of starvation, and this has a huge effect on the family's quality of life.
So I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me. Let's look at what else we got going on here. We literally bought this chicken broth, $5.69, 2 months ago. Dang, this is the flour we were buying for $5.99 last year.
Guys, this video is going viral. Costco is charging over $80 to $90 for steaks. I'm not kidding.
Shop with me at Costco Canada. The prices are insane. 3 steaks for $70.
They made it gold.
$182. Prime rib roast, $169. Prime rib roast, $169. Okay, now this is amazing. Sushi at Costco. How did I have no idea? Totally reasonable price too.
What the
Overpriced food. $11.99. King of grapes. 5 avocados, $8.99. This was $450. I believe I
That's unreal, man.
Outrageous.
So I gotta know. You go in the grocery store and steaks and meat cost over $100, like $150 just for one ribeye. Are you buying it? Are you? I want to know. Tell me in the comments. In the next video, well, we're going to talk about it. I'll see you on the next one.
I can't believe this just happened. Right now, at a grocery store, this woman went $100 over budget from buying baby formula. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. Here's what happened. I hear the biggest freak out from a woman in line with her 2 babies, and she goes, how can I be $100 over budget? It's the same baby formula that I've been buying. This just happened today. So I'm a little nosy. The long line that I'm in, I'm like, I'm not going to wait in this one. Let me just go behind this woman because it was a lot quicker. So I get in that line and I can hear the conversation. And she's telling the cashier, but the cashier has the same face of bewilderment saying, no, sweetheart, this has to be an accounting error, an inventory error, something. This is not correct. I just had another lady about a week ago with the same baby formula, the same amount. It shouldn't have been this amount. There's something wrong. So I'm like, oh, okay, good for her. It's going to be cheaper. The cashier proceeds to call 3 people, the floor manager, an inventory specialist, and the GM that just so happened to be at that specific store because there's multiple of this chain. They go, they look at the baby formula, they pull out the inventory sheet, whatever, to put the pricing and whatnot. And all 3 of them say the exact same thing. There is no way this could be real. When did this happen? The inventory guy is like, I'm checking the codes and yeah, they raised the price. So then the GM is looking at the floor manager, at the inventory manager, and is like, how are we supposed to sell baby formula if it just went up $100? So then the GM says, hold on. He puts in a code and then he puts the correct price from like a week ago, and the lady goes on her way and she's happy. So then the GM, and I'm still in line, mind you, and I'm interested in like, what is going on? The GM did her a courtesy, but then he went back to his little office, and by the time I had finished checking out, he came back and his face was white. And he goes, all the baby formula went up in the last week. What the hell is going on?
Let's talk about stagnant wages. Wage growth has remained stagnant regardless of inflation surge. Over time, many workers have seen only modest increase in wages. As a result, Americans are experiencing real income decline, which means their earnings are not keeping up with the rising cost of living.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
I
I really have no fucking clue how people afford this day and age with normal average jobs. And it's like, I was a server for almost 8 years and I never once made more than like 40 grand. And that was me making decent money. I was making $20 to $30 an hour. But it doesn't matter because the average cost to live in America is like 3 grand a month or something. And that times 12 is like almost 40 grand, you know? Maybe that was enough money to live off of 4 or 5, more like 20 fucking years ago. It's unfortunate, but it's just not enough money anymore. And it's like the video that I stitched. She was talking about how someone she knew was a teacher and how she didn't make enough money. My best friend is a teacher. She is so passionate. She is so knowledgeable about what she does. But she will never make the amount of money that she deserves, you know? She still lives with her fucking mom, and I don't blame her. I still live with my parents, even though I'm making really good money, because I know that the second that I move out, I'm gonna be throwing away quadruple the amount of money that I already am because shit is just so damn expensive. Like I said, I don't have a quote-unquote normal job anymore. I work online, I do affiliate and digital marketing, and everything that I do to make money is at the top on my page. If you want help doing what I'm doing, please reach out. I would love to help you. But yeah, it genuinely hurts me to sit here and think that people who are such hard workers, who have so much knowledge, are just not getting paid what they deserve, especially my best fucking friend.
Hey Raph, I'm a teacher and I can barely afford to pay rent with my salary. My salary bi-weekly is basically my rent minus $500. Guess how much my car is? $400. Guess how much insurance is? $100. Oh yeah, that's right. You do the math. I'm left with owing money at the end of the month. That's not even with groceries. Holy sh**. That's not even with groceries. I realize every single month I am transferring money out of savings into my checking, and I am not. Just had the realization in the car that I'm actually gonna go into debt if I continue being a teacher. Like, genuinely. Wow. Oh, I'm like literally having a crisis right now. I'm gonna have a panic attack right now. I can't do this. I literally cannot do this. Knowing every single month that most of my money is literally like, I don't have money. Okay. I don't know how I'm gonna pay off my credit card this month. I don't know. All right, well, rats, peace and blessings, and I hope you can afford your rent today, and groceries, and your car, and insurance, and life. Bye.
In order to cope with the increased income decline and the rising cost of living, more Americans are turning to credit cards. According to record, the total credit card debt in the US has reached a staggering $1 trillion. The increase in credit card debt has left a lot of people in the cycle of debt due to the higher interest rates. People are finding it difficult to pay up the money they borrowed.
Okay, so to recap, I am $123,040.54 in debt.
I have a question. How much credit card debt are you in? Because for context, I'm 26, I've been working since 17, paying for my own shit, moved out at 18, have been independent ever since. And I have $10,000 worth of credit card debt. And I will be the first to admit that I'm not perfect. I've definitely paid off medical bills and like emergency vet visits and things on my credit card, but I've also bought a lot of dumb shit. But it's like people my age have $55,000 worth of credit card debt. Do you see how my eye's twitching? That shit stresses me out. Like $55,000 is my take-home salary from my last job. Like, I think I'm just morbidly curious on like what gets you to the point of $55,000 worth of credit card debt. Also, who gave you $55,000 worth of credit in general? Like, not to mention, my credit usage, way high. Like 90 something percent. So my interest rates, 30%. Like, the interest would make me want to throw up.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
They're in debt. The majority of people aren't in debt. Mortgage underwriter here for the past 17 years, and I review people's income, assets, and credit. The amount of debt load that people carry is very high. Also, another thing is, please note that sometimes people who look like they are the wealthiest and have the most material things, boats, expensive vacation, luxury, everything, are the people that are in the most amount of debt and on the brink of losing it all or bankruptcy. And the people that sometimes have the most simple life, use cars, use clothes, or they don't look like anything extraordinary or glamorous are the people that have the most wealth accumulated and saved. But aside from that, just from reviewing and currently reviewing loans, I also looked at a study in the Federal Reserve Q2 of 2023, and they reported that total American household debt was at $103,000 and $103,358 for Q2 of 2023 for total household debt. And the average used auto payment was $528. The average monthly new car payment was $729. And the average amount of debt per individual was $6,358. These figures are very high, and it is no surprise how some people are struggling right now to make ends meet, even if they have high incomes. So please don't ever feel like you are behind, because sometimes people that may look like they have a glamorous life may be in a worse position than people that don't have that. You are not behind in life, and it is hard for many people, even with a dual income or high income, to make ends meet, be able to save and plan ahead. So follow for more.
The difficulty and struggles of paying back borrowed money does have consequences. Let's talk about the rise in delinquency rates. With inflation impacting disposable income, delinquency rates on loans and credit cards are rising, particularly among younger borrowers. We all know how important credit scores are. This trend of high delinquency rates does have long-term effect on credit scores, which makes it difficult for individuals to secure loans for homes and cars in the future.
One thing that I want you guys to understand about loans, this is only towards loans. You're not going to see an increase in your score every single time you make a payment on a loan. Loans are graded by the term length and then your adherence to that term length. So you get a car for 36 months. You choose to pay off the car in 10 months, right? Your adherence percentage to that loan is not good. You didn't maximize that loan. That loan really didn't do anything for you. That short-term installment, do not pay it off early. Popular short-term installments are like a self-account, a credit builder loan. The only requirements for that short-term installment to count towards your mortgage score specifically is it has to be at least $250 in total. Loans are most effective within the last 10% of them. If you are going to follow this plan and you actually want to see your credit score increase, you have to agree that you will not end this short-term installment early. After you've paid off 91% technically of that loan, that's where you'll really like get all of the fruit from that particular loan.
Don't get a payday loan before understanding this one crucial thing. Now, I've studied payday loans for a long time now, and I'm starting to realize that there is instances where payday loans could make sense in emergency situations, right? But you need to understand this one crucial thing, and that thing is that almost everyone I speak with, that are in debt, that are facing financial hardship, think that they will pay that loan back in 2 weeks. Everyone knows that payday loans, bad credit loans have bad interest rates, but most people I've spoken with think, I'm going to pay it back in 2 weeks. The challenge is that very few actually pay it back in 2 weeks, and then they start getting into this rabbit hole of getting more and more payday loans, and it produces a financial hardship, which ends up in a relief situation.
Why are you not paying them?
Because why would I?
No, like if it starts back up, if none of them are forgiven.
I mean,
you'll just not pay them?
Yeah.
And that hurts your credit. You don't care?
Yeah.
It might go to collections and people could come after you and potentially sue you. You do not care.
No.
The thing is, just okay, responsibility aside, okay? The repercussions of not paying the student loan debt, what are they going to do? If there's no money to collect, if it gets sent to collections, what are they going to get? It sounds like this person has nothing.
Student loans that were a contract that you signed with your name, agreeing to pay back, do you not feel a moral responsibility?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about the credit card? Do you feel a moral responsibility to pay that back?
Not at all.
Do you feel moral responsibility to pay your rent?
Honestly, no, because my landlord's a dick.
Do you have any financial goals in the future, and how are you going to meet them?
I mean, I would like to have a house. Hopefully I win the lottery one day.
But no moral obligation to pay for that house, right?
Bingo.
This is real, which is crazy. Again, the lottery is going to be the scapegoat. Like, if I win the lottery, then I'll be fine. And then you leave it up to total chance. But let's see if they get any better.
All I have discussed here are the knock-on effect of the inflation crisis. If you can avoid the credit card debt, please do. Everything is intertwined. It's a loop. It's a circle. This is all I have for you guys in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.